quality title race of all time, but coming out on top again in the Premier League, Manchester City.
Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that I tweeted out after the game basically saying that I couldn't be bothered making a video on this, but yeah, after a while, and you know, it's now Sunday the 1st of December, I've had a chance to watch and re-watch the highlights over and over again and look at the match facts and stats and all that kind of crack, so I've formulated a bit more of an opinion than I would have had yesterday on that game. So without further ado, let's get into it. Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. Pretty poor display by Frank Lampard's men, possibly the worst so far this season. And you know, obviously Frank rotated a lot of the players. It's been a pretty hectic week, matches wise. They've been coming thick and fast, the games. Man City on Sunday, Valencia Wednesday, and obviously West Ham yesterday. So it's been a pretty blocked up fixture list, and it only gets worse from here on in as we start the month of December. And I must say, before I do get into the nitty gritty side of it, first of all, congratulations to West Ham. Their goalkeeper, I think his name is David Martin, 33 years old. Their third choice goalkeeper came in and did his part and kept a clean sheet for West Ham yesterday. And obviously, for the rest of the West Ham team, absolutely top class performance, lads. See, unlike Tottenham and Arsenal, you guys have actually played out of your skins to keep your manager in a job. So, I tip my hat to you. Well done, sirs. They played exceptionally well. Bursted their bollocks for the ball. You could clearly see it was a London derby from the way they were playing. Lots of passion, lots of grit, going hard into the tackles, closing Chelsea down in them important spaces, not letting us play out from the back, or not letting us play our natural free-flowing football that we've come to know Frank Lampard's Chelsea as. So before I do start, massive congratulations to West Ham. However, when you're playing against a team that plays as slow and as sluggish and as just tired as Chelsea looked yesterday, it's not always that difficult to get the result. Now I want to first of all pick out Chelsea's best performers yesterday, and to be honest, I can only really think of two, possibly three at a push. I do think Reece James was our best outfield player yesterday, although he was possibly, actually not possibly, he was at fault for the West Ham goal. But you could argue the other side of the coin is that if Reece James's crosses that he put into the box were actually met by a centre forward who was willing to attack them, then maybe we would never have been in that situation for West Ham to take the lead in the first place. Another top performer from yesterday, and probably our best player on the pitch in general, was Kepa. He kept us in the game for large portions and made some very important saves, one particular from a Mikel Antonio header from when Reece James lost him at the back post. But yeah, brilliant from Kepa, and adding to his penalty save from during the week, which kept Chelsea, and apart from that, a lot of other saves which kept Chelsea from losing during the week. But it's fair to say, during the week against Valencia, Maxi Gomez and Rodrigo left their shooting boots at home. That's the reason we got a point in that game. Never mind, we got the point, we move on. And West Ham yesterday, there was a lot of key changes to the starting 11. Fikayo Tomori was back in at centre back. Also back into the team was Emerson, who didn't start in midweek but came on and subsequently went on to lose. Well, not lose, but lose our lead in that game when Chelsea reverted to a sort of five at the back. Emerson's not had the best time of it since I've complimented him in my top 5 favourite Chelsea players video. He really hasn't. He's not been good. Pretty much lost us the game against Man City last week, and I mean, it was an absolutely freak goal from Daniel Vaz during the week, but it came down his side, so he's not had the best time of it. Reece James was right back. Mason Mount was in, as was Olivier Giroud and Pedro. Can I just say, Pedro and Giroud, I know they've played not an awful lot of football this season, but they look like absolute amateurs. Pedro, I know he's getting on a bit now. He must be 32 or 3, and he hasn't played an awful lot of football in this Chelsea team, but he really struggled yesterday, and there was not an awful lot of end product from him or from Willian when he came on. And as for Olivier Giroud, I mean, if you're a centre forward who hasn't started since August, you come in for your first start because the main man himself, Tammy Abraham, is out. You'd have thought you'd put in a bit of more of a shift than you did Olivier Giroud. I do love Giroud, don't get me wrong, I love Giroud, and I'd be sad to see him go if he was to go in January, but not with performances like that. As a centre forward, when you're not playing and you get your chance, you have to absolutely bust your arse to get into the box on the edge of them Reece James crosses. Do you realise how many goals Chelsea could have got yesterday if Olivier Giroud had just actually moved and committed himself to getting into the box to finish off them Reece James crosses? We would never been in a situation where West Ham could take the lead. But can I just say, for the West Ham goal, what a goal. Aaron Cresswell, absolutely stunning goal. Takes it by Reece James, cuts inside onto his right foot and buries it past Kepa. It's an absolutely brilliant goal, and it could have been 2 when Antonio's goal was ruled out by VAR for handball, but correctly. But West Ham were brilliant yesterday. Chelsea were slow, sluggish, tired, and it's not good. At this stage in the season, we're coming into December now. We are actually in December now. December is probably the most busy month of the season, and we've got a lot of games coming up. We've got Aston Villa this coming Wednesday, so there's not an awful lot of time for the team to rest. So we got that, and we got lots of other games, including Tottenham and Arsenal, who without a doubt are going to be revitalised by the fact that they now have new managers, and they're going to absolutely bust their arses for that new manager, Jose Mourinho and Freddie Ljungberg respectively. They're both coming up this month. Also, we got Lille in the Champions League, and as I mentioned, I have mentioned Valencia already, because we couldn't hold out our 2-1 lead in the Messiah during the week. We now face a situation where we need to beat Lille in our final Champions League game to qualify or draw and hope other results go our way, and Ajax beat Valencia. So we left ourselves in quite an unnecessary circumstance there. So the fact that our strength and depth in squad is so weak and so poor, it's not looking good for us. Now I know we haven't had a transfer window yet because of the transfer ban. I get that, and that's the big problem. And we've put in some sort of appeal to try and get it lifted before January, so we can go out and buy some squad players during the January transfer market. And I do think if Chelsea are to finish the season strongly, maybe win a trophy, and definitely finish in the top 4, we need to go out and spend in January. Players like Pedro and Giroud coming off the bench just aren't cutting it anymore. So we need to bring in a little bit of quality that will push the people who are starting and also make that impact coming off the bench. I would love to see us sign a couple of players in January. Ben Chilwell is one that I'd love to see us sign. Obviously, Jadon Sancho, if he comes in, would 100% be a starter. And he's a big name that has been linked with Chelsea recently. But we need something, lads. And don't get me wrong. If you had told me back in August that by December the 1st, Aaron, Chelsea will be 6 points clear of Tottenham in the top 4, 5 if Arsenal win against Norwich this afternoon, which it looks like they could. Well, you'd imagine they will. I would have bitten your hand off. I would have absolutely snapped your hand off and said, yes, give me that. If Chelsea can end the month of December and go into 2020 with that 5 or 6 point gap still in place, then I think we'll be in a very good place. But we're still in a strong position, but yesterday was so disappointing. To lose at home to a team that lost last week to Tottenham and lost 3-0 to Burnley the week before that. I mean, we're keeping managers in a job here, that's all I'm saying. We really are. We kept Pellegrini in a job. But yeah, no, if you're a Chelsea fan, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and as always, I will catch you later.